Hello and welcome to Bahrain Now, your source of local initiatives, happenings, talents, and trends. I'm your host, Khalid Hidris, here to walk you through our exciting lineup of segments and personalities from around Bahrain. So don't go away, and we'll be right back. Since the establishment of the National Space Science Agency, the NSSA, in 2014, the Kingdom of Bahrain has made large strides in reinforcing its position amongst the leading countries in the field of space, its sciences, and various related applications in order to maintain comprehensive and sustainable development. This is reflected by the numerous initiatives the NSSA has made, including the upcoming International Space Forum, which is set to be held on July the 2nd. And to speak more about that, we have with us in the studio the advisor to the National Space Science Agency, Dr. Mohamed AlOthman. Welcome, Doctor. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. It's such a pleasure to have you here with us today. Now, I'd like to start by asking you that the Kingdom of Bahrain has exerted a lot of efforts in this field and towards the advancement of space science. So can you give us a little bit of a summary about that?
Yes, since day one, the establishment of the NSSA, the National Space Science Agency, we started to identify the elements we need to establish a space sector, something that's new for Bahrain and for the region overall. And you know, by inertia, that people tend to keep doing whatever they are doing. We had a really good challenge and we gained lots of experience. So we started by first identifying the elements we need to establish that sector. We had, of course, the royal decree establishing the NSSA as a roadmap. We identified several elements, part of which is we have to develop the national requirement. We have to do something meaningful for the country. We need to identify the international treaties and international entities that we can cooperate with, and we need to establish the core force to work to start our space sector and space project on.
Very brilliantly said, and that was a great summary of what the agency does, and it gives us a great platform really to launch into the next question, which is, I mean, the NSSA has been involved in so many initiatives. Can you tell us about some of the outcomes of those initiatives?
Yes, this is part of the letting people know what you can do with space. As we said, inertia is people tend to keep doing whatever they're doing the way they like it, the way they are familiar with, not to introduce new things. So, and this is what we faced, and this is when we talk to other space agencies in different countries, these also face the same thing. You are trying to tell the people, hey, we can do something new, we can do whatever you're doing, but with less effort, with better accuracy. And we started, for instance, the awareness sessions by talking to the decision makers, people in the public sector. This is, you can do the space. The space is not just we do it for leisure, it's not for fun, but it's for doing the real work. And there are a number of projects that we've done that illustrate what we're doing.
Brilliantly said. And now, supporting research in space science, technology, and applications is an integral part of the agency's mission. So what are some of the exerted efforts in that regard?
Of course, yeah. This is a really essential point. Since this is a new sector, we don't have any people, we don't have the workforce in the space. And of the nature of doing work in space, you need a certain level of professionalism. So we started with these fresh graduates, people with technical degrees, engineering, IT, science. One of our mandates is for those people to get experience in space science and space technology by sending them to get their master degrees. So back in 2018, 6 years ago, we started recruitment campaign. We had thousands of applicants. We chose very selective people, and we sent those to get their master degrees. This is the way we started things. We start by establishing the right people. We send several people to Khalifa University in the UAE. We send several people to UK, to Surrey University, and those for a academic program to get their masters. And we send others to do more of a training programs that extended for months, not a couple of days or something. That's the way we establish the workforce that we need to do our core business.
Now, I know that the agency has actually gotten a bit of a reputation for investing a lot in talent and the individual needs and development of people involved with the agency. Can you tell us a little bit of the logic behind that?
Yeah, it's not an easy business doing working on space, and you'll face lots of challenge. You are exploring unexplored territory. Even for humanity, it's really an unexplored territory. So you need people with talent. They will face new challenges, new problems. They have to come with the innovative solutions. It's not there. It's not something you look up in a textbook. It's not something you go and ask someone. You have to work and you have to solve the problem. You really need a talented, professional people who know what they are doing.
Brilliantly said. And the NSSA provides like public and private sector bodies with various services that serve different goals. Can you elaborate a bit more on that?
Yeah, this is when we identified the elements we need quick wins. And we started doing two things. We needed upstreams and downstream services. Upstream services is people doing the hardware, putting the working, building, designing the satellites and launching them. This is where you get the data. And then when you get the data, you need people, which is downstream, to analyze the data. So we decided to work essentially first with the lab team. So we started the lab team. As I said, we compiled a list of national requirements. We said, okay, this is the problem we are facing here in Bahrain, how to solve them, what we need to solve them, what kind of data, what kind of training, what kind of even software, what kind of hardware we need them. So we started establishing the lab, and from that lab, we started showing the people, look, this is what the things we can do. One of the first studies we did with the Space Data and Image Lab is counting palm tree. We didn't have any reliable count of palm tree. As you know, Bahrain is the land of 1 million trees. And when we did the counting, we used, of course, the new technologies, AI, not just old-fashioned. We did it by old-fashioned, by counting tree by tree. It took us about 3 months. And then we employed AI, and it took about 2 weeks. So we found out it's about less than 300,000 palm tree. Okay, so now we can look at the entire of Bahrain, count the trees, and we have a reliable scientific study for the number of palm trees in Bahrain. So this is one of the things that we provide. Of course, this was at the beginning. Now we can do lots of studies. We can provide for different entities space images, processed space images. We can do analysis, and we can conduct studies. For instance, we are looking at agriculture, the green cover in Bahrain. We are looking at palm trees, the health of the palm trees. We are looking at mangrove. We are looking at oil spills. We are looking at renewable energy. We are conducting a study looking at how much we can generate solar energy by looking at the landscape, looking at buildings, trees, the cover, and and the shades that they will have during the entire day. And we can estimate where the best location to place your solar panels and how much solar energy can be generated. So it's really span everything, almost everything you can do from space. And by a study by the UNOSA, the United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs, we have the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, and 40% of those goals you cannot accomplish without space.
Very brilliantly said, and it's amazing to see like the possibilities seem quite endless. And now, on a similar vein, I would like to ask you a little bit more about the theme of partnership. Now, I know that you are involved with various different entities. How do you value that partnership that you have with other entities as well?
It's essential. It's very essential. We didn't want to reinvent the wheel. So through our partnership, and this is one of the elements we talked about in the beginning of establishing of the NSSA, is having international relations and getting the experience from other space agencies, how to start, how the problems, the big problems, the things that you need to start with. And one of our brothers in the United Arab Emirates, we have a very strong ties with them, and we really we had like a workshop back in the beginning where they laid for us, we would discuss how to start with it. One of the things that we needed to do is like the internal work of the NSSA, having the regulations, and of course that will be in line with the government regulations, how to do things, how not to having a conflict with the government regulations. So this is one of the things that we really helped us in doing, accelerate the projects, accelerate whatever we did, the successes we had at the NSSA.
Brilliant, and it's really great to see the holistic approach that the agency has to everything. And on that note, I'm sure you do a lot as well to keep the youth of Bahrain engaged or aware as to what's going on in terms of the space industry. So could you tell us a little bit about your efforts on that front?
Yeah, of course, the youth are the future of any nation. So one of the, for instance, the awareness session we had with the, we're looking at university level students and high school, and even lower than high school. One of the things we did, for instance, the few last summers was getting the high school student engaged and looking at space data. And we had with our partners workshops that's extended, I think, for a month or so, where they actually downloaded real actual space data, do some analysis and do some study. They are getting exposed to data. They will not be professional, but they know what's available there and the capabilities, what they can do and what they cannot do with the space data. And this is the future. The other thing we had with the more of a primary level 1 to 6 students, we had some competition, one of the space art, where the students will draw something related to space, and we have cooking in space. This is one of the competition where they have the children have to cook something, come up with some food that they can be used in space. Other initiatives is for the more of the university level. We had a program in space, which is basically there is a educational satellite that you can upload your code and test your code really on a real satellite and things that you can do. We had experiment on the moon where you can upload your, this is a more of a simulation, not a real experiment you do on the moon. We had a Cube, which was an initiative by JAXA, the Japanese Exploration Agency, and ANOSA, which is the United Nations Office of Outer Space Affairs. They offer to for educational institute to send what we call a CubeSat, which is something like 10 centimeter by 10 centimeter by 10 centimeter satellite, about 1 kilogram. They will launch it for free from the Kibo module at the ISS. And this is what we are looking for. We are trying to push the universities to come up with something like that.
Brilliant, and it's great to see how much innovation goes into that part of things. Now, moving on a bit, I'd like to ask a little bit. Now, you guys have achieved quite a lot ever since the establishment of the agency. Could you tell us a little bit about some of the main achievements of the agency and how you managed to sustain those achievements or the standards set by those achievements?
I think currently the biggest achievement that we are working on is Al-Mundar satellite, which is the first fully designed and built satellite by Bahraini. Hopefully it will be launched soon, in less than 1 year. And this is a satellite that's designed with a payload that was tested and programmed by Bahraini. There are several patents. We are using image analysis on board of the satellite. We are using encryption that was developed by our Bahraini engineers, and it's a patent payloads. So this is really one of the biggest achievements that we can, this is of course follows, this is part of the way we develop the core forces. This follows the Light 1 satellite, which was built by Emiratis and Bahrainis. Now we are taking the whole responsibility to build satellite. This is on the satellite side. On the lab side, I think we are starting to get more and more requests to do studies and to provide analysis for data for different entities in Bahrain. I think this is really a testimony on the worthlessness of our data and of the lab.
Absolutely. And now moving on to another thing to look forward to. Could you tell us a little bit more about the upcoming International Space Forum, which is set to take place on July the 2nd, and a bit about its agenda as well?
Yeah. This is the International Space Forum, the 6th version. It's being organized by the IEF, which is the International Astronautical Federation. This is one of the oldest oldest entities in the world related to space. It was established in 1952. Right at the beginning of the space age. The IEF and the Italian Space Agency, this is the 6th version. It's more of an international forum, but with a regional focus. The first one was in Italy, and then it followed up with more in Latin America, Africa and the Mediterranean, and now in Bahrain it's for the MENA region, for the Middle East and North Africa. Basically, it's getting the decision makers, head of agencies, more of a ministerial level, to discuss issues within the region and to set some points, some short and medium range goals that the region as a whole that should strive for. As you know, space sector is a very expensive sector. You cannot do space research or developed space technologies by yourself. Even the big countries, they develop the whole thing in a collaboration, like the International Space Station. It's not being developed by one country, by several countries. So basically, this is the Space Forum. The agenda got three main topics. The first one is using how we are using the space data to improve the communities on Earth and how to have the impact on local communities, to showcase that it's really doing something. The other one is the exploring the universe. Exploring the universe, either out there or in there. So we're either looking at the planets and the galaxies, or looking at Earth and developing the new technologies, how space exploration, how you need innovation, you need the new technologies. The new technologies are not really just for space, but you can use it here on Earth even for different things that's has no relation to space, but it's a byproduct of what we are doing in space. And the last topic is the international cooperation and how to use the international resources you have from different countries, from people that are ahead of you, to come and to add to what you're doing now, to the technologies, to the manpower you have.
Very well said. And now, just before we conclude, I'd like to ask you, does the NSSA have any upcoming projects or anything that you might be able to share with us?
Definitely, we have lots of projects. As I said, I think we all heard about Ching 6, the Chinese explorer that landed on the moon. Actually, there is the upcoming mission, which is Ching 7, and we are participating in that. We are building with the Egyptian Space Agency a multispectral camera that looks at the surface of the moon and try to identify different objects on the surface of the moon, trying to identify some of the composition of the material. So this is what we're looking for. We are working hard on that, and this should be launched by 2026. But you know, any space project this size, it can be delayed until 2027 or 28. This is a typical thing. The other things, we have also another partnership with Oman and China to have an artificial intelligence payload that would analyze the image on the satellite, on the fly. You know, whenever a satellite capture a picture, it would transmit the picture down to Earth. This will cost you money to rent the ground station. It will cost you power, but sometimes the image is no good. There is cloud cover, there is dust. This package will do the analysis on board the satellite. If the image is good, it will be transmitted. If the image is not good, it will be discarded.
Well, thank you so much for that. This was a very illuminating talk, and it was such a pleasure to have you with us. And I hope we get to see you or anyone else from the agency again to talk more about this very fascinating topic. Thank you again.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.